Hey guys, so this is a video that I've wanted to do for a while now. It was one of the first things I wanted to do when we started this channel, and I just didn't know when an appropriate time would be for this, and I just don't want to delay any longer. From my last couple videos, you know Pokemon has been on my mind. But anyways, let's jump right into it and not waste any more time. This is my top 10 Pokemon. So I kind of tried to rank these guys in order from 10 being the worst and number 1 being the best, but I was kind of a little wishy-washy. So I tried to organize them, and I don't know, I'm kind of back and forth on a couple of them. The first 5 can probably be put in any order. But number 10, Emolga. This is a flying mouse Pokemon that resembles Pikachu. The reason why I like him is because, well, he resembles Pikachu, and he's a flying type. He's an electric flying type, so, typically you want to use electric against your flying enemy, but since he's electric, it doesn't do anything, and since he's flying, the ground doesn't do anything to the electric type. So, you gotta kind of figure out a different strategy. You gotta think about what else hits flying types. Number 9, Metagross. There's not much I can say about Metagross. He's just awesome. You look at his design, and it's just awesome. The Mega Evolution is even cooler, and I like the idea of the way its evolution works. With Beldum, it's just one of Metagross's legs, and then the second stage, he has 2 legs, and then obviously Metagross has 4. Mega Evolution has even more, and according to the Pokedex, each leg contains its own brain that is like a supercomputer, so it's very smart. And he's just a tank. The Steel type, not much hurts him. Number 8, Staryu. Now, Staryu's on my list solely because of Pokemon Stadium on the Nintendo 64. I love Staryu in Pokemon Stadium. He's a water type that knows electric moves, or at least one electric move. He's also got Recover, and I think Psychic or Confusion. So he's got all the bases covered, and he can do just so much, and I just love trolling everybody with this character. Number 7, Hawlucha. This is a new Pokemon in X and Y, and I just love his design. I really like the combination of the fighting and flying, because normally one of the 2 things that you use for a fighting guy is either flying or psychic, and this knocks out that flying option, so it's just another resistance that he has. I just like him. Not much else to say. He's just, the design is cool, the weaknesses and the flying press move that he gets, which is both an aerial and a fighting move. Aerial? I guess it's a flying move. I don't know what I'm thinking. Number 6, Flareon. Now, I've heard a lot of things about Flareon being the worst evolution, but that doesn't mean he's not my favorite. I may be off in left field here, but I would much rather evolve my Eevee into a Flareon over a Jolteon or Vaporeon. I know that there's better fire guys out there, that being Arcanine or whoever else, Charizard for that matter. I mean, Charizard's pretty awesome. As far as any of the starters go, really, Blaziken, I love Blaziken. Blaziken just barely made it off this list. I thought I'd keep him to the side for maybe if I did a top starters list. Maybe. But anyways, Flareon. I really like him. I can't really say why. He's just, I don't know, I like his design. Number 5, Ampharos. More so, the entire Mareep chain. I really like Mareep, I really like Flaffy, and Mega Ampharos is really cool as well. I'm not really a fan of him getting the Dragon typing for his Mega Evolution, but still nonetheless, I like that he gets the fur back. Comparatively from Flaffy to Ampharos, I like that Flaffy has that little bit of hair on his neck. It makes him seem more, like a sheep, like Mareep is. Looking at Mareep and Ampharos without Flaffy, it's kind of hard to see the connection between them. But anyways, I don't really know why I like them. I just really do. I always try to catch them when they're available to me. Number 4, Haunter. Not Gengar, Haunter. I don't evolve my Haunter to Gengar just because I like Haunter better. I think his design is way cooler than Gengar. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, Gengar is a cool, design and concept. I just like the way Haunter looks better. I like his floating hands and that he's more of like a spirit-looking creature rather than Gengar that's more like a shadow. It's just, I don't know, everybody appeals to different things. Number 3, Pidgeot. I like the whole Pidgey chain, and this is really because of Pokemon Red and Blue. Like, Pidgey is the first Pokemon that you encounter in the game next to Rattata. I mean, both of them are both on Route 1, but, usually you'll end up catching one of those two, and they'll stick with you for a majority of the game. That happened to me, and I happen to just love Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot. There's not much more I can say to that. Number 2, this one might sound a little weird, Klefki. I really like Klefki. I've mentioned before with a couple of previous Pokemon about their resistances and stuff. Klefki is a Steel and Fairy type, meaning that he has very, very little weaknesses. Fairies are only weak to Steel and Poison, and since he's a Steel type, Steel doesn't really hurt him, and he's resistant to Poison. So really all Klefki has is what's strong against Steel, and one of those things is fighting, and Fairy's good against fighting. So that knocks that out. There's just so many things that he's resistant to and good against in a fight that I just love him, and I just love the idea that a little tiny keychain can take out dragons. It's just, it's so funny. Also, I have heard that Klefki got a move setup banned in competitive play. Now, I don't do any competitive playing, but I've heard this, and I think that's awesome. Like, you've got some kind of great setup if you can get it banned in competitive play. This setup that I know of is called the, actually I don't know what it's called, but basically you use Swagger and then Foul Play. And due to Klefki's ability being Prankster, you can get that Swagger off right away and get that attack boost on your enemy, then use Foul Play, which is stronger the higher your enemy's attack is. But anyways, I don't competitive play. I just really like his design and how he is resistant to, like, everything. Number 1, Marowak. Most of you guys probably know the Cubone story. How Cubone lost its mother and it wears its mother's skull on its head as a helmet. Because of this story, I really like Marowak. That's kind of odd to say, but basically, if you look at the Pokedex entries for Cubone and then for Marowak, Cubone say that it's so lonely that it cries, wanting its mother, and that there's, markings on the skull. Nobody ever sees his face. It cries at the moon. It's a very sad and lonely Pokemon. And then you look at Marowak, and it's a warrior. It's strong. It's the Bone Keeper, I guess. I believe it's called. It uses bones as its weapons. It's Cubone has grown up and accepted that its mother is gone. He's ready to fight now. Like, I just love the idea of him, it has the one Pokemon just coming to accept what happened with its mother and just the whole story altogether. And I also really like the theory that Cubone's dead mother is actually a Kangaskhan, and that Cubone should be a Kangaskhan, but since it's not in its mother's pouch, it grew up differently and became Marowak. It's a really cool concept. I suggest you guys look it up. But anyways, that's my top 10. Like I said, those top 5 can be kind of replaced in any order because I just love them all so much. And as far as the other 5 go, they're all great. If you guys want to let me know what your top Pokemon are, if you think my Pokemon are just terrible and you don't know why I like them, let me know in the comments. Tell me your top 3 Pokemon if you want to. Jake, Colin, if you guys want to do a top 10 list, I welcome you to do it. This was a lot of fun to narrow down and, decide which ones were my favorites. It's really hard to narrow down to 10 out of 721 Pokemon. Anyways, that's all I've got today, and if you like the video, please hit that like button. If you like my voice or my face, you can subscribe to see more of my videos, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.